Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. This video is going to discuss why I believe that the Faithfuls are in fact still going to win Series 4 of the UK Traitors. Despite perhaps some poor performances at recent roundtables, they have been dire for the past few episodes. Now, this channel put out a poll a few days ago to any new viewers who aren't aware of this, regarding, with 3 episodes to go, who did people think were going to win the show, the Faithfuls or the Traitors? At the time of recording this, approximately 90% of you out of a few hundred votes said the Traitors, but I don't believe that's correct. After the Celebrity Traitors, where Alan Carr, spoiler alert, Alan Carr won the show. The way it was presented at the time is as if the Faithfuls were going to win with Joe Marler. Somehow Alan Carr snuck through and won the show, and I believe we may being set up in the same way by the producers here that it looks like the Traitors are going to win. Now, 3 episodes is a long time. A lot can happen in that time. Um, there are 6 faithfuls left, obviously, and 2 traitors. The 6 faithfuls are Roxy, Matt, Faraz, Jack, James, and Jade. Now, of these 6 people, I would say only 2 of them have really had heat or substantial heat. One's obviously Jade, who's had heat very early on in the show. She could be gone in the next round table. There's no doubt about that. She's still there. There's no murder this time. If perhaps the traitors give her this double vote, that would implicate her perhaps even more, or maybe that's too obvious. And Matt has also, on the screen now, Matt has also had some heat. Um, the others, Roxy and James, have had tiny bits. Roxy purely because she was at the picture, the artwork with Maz that night, but nothing's really come of that. And James because he nicked the shield in that task. But if anything, as people said, that would more point to him being a faithful. So neither of them have had any real heat on them. And I mean, Jack and Faraz are still there, and they have had no heat on themselves at all. They're a bit like Molly from Series 2. They just had no heat. No one suspects them at all, which can be quite dangerous in the Traitors because one of those 2 could be murdered with the next episode. Now, there are 8 players left. As I say, 6 faithful, 2 traitors. Usually, the final episodes has 5 players left. So I would suspect that one of these players will be murdered and 2 players will be voted off for banishments. We haven't had a recruitment today. Um, I Regular viewers of the show know that I do like a recruitment. It gives a different dynamic. Someone who's spent 7, 8, 9 episodes as a faithful then turns into a traitor right at the end. It's great viewing. See how their personality changes, the nerves go, things like that. Now, I've talked about the faithfuls and who has had heat and who hasn't had heat. The fact there'll be no recruitment, I think, makes it easier for the faithfuls to win. Many people do believe, and I agree with this view as well, that the easiest way to win the show is to be a faithful for most of it, and then to be invited to become a traitor at the end. People can't watch your behaviour from episode 1 all the way through to the end and see a pattern. As long as you can deal with the nerves of that initial shock, the initial breakfast of being a traitor, you should be onto a winner. We talk about Stephen and Rachel. Stephen's had a lot of heat. I'm surprised Stephen's still there, to be honest with you. Jesse was really onto him. He took a big risk, which for now has clearly worked off in killing Jesse, murdering Jesse. But whether it be the cage task or things like that, she was onto him. Other players, such as Matt, have said if other players go like Sam, I will be looking at Stephen because it's surprising he's still there. So Stephen is definitely not out of the woods yet. I mean, how Rachel's still there after Harriet's sacrifice is astonishing. Rachel and Stephen at the moment, the last couple of round tables, the faithfuls, as I say, they've been dire, absolutely dire. But obviously, it goes without saying, as the more faithfuls disappear, and Rachel and Stephen are still there, and the faithfuls aren't getting a traitor, they will automatically look at them more with fewer people. People like Jack and Faraz, they're still getting no heat, so they're at risk of murder, but they're not at risk of banishment, I'd say. Um, Spoiler alert for Series 2, you may want to stop listening. When Harry won Series 2, he didn't have any heat on him, not really throughout the whole show. Jessica Christie, as he was deemed, was very quiet, even though he suspected him up until the end, and Molly ultimately made the wrong decision. But Rachel and Stephen aren't in that position. They've had heat. They've got away with it, to my astonishment. You'd think they would have got one of them by now. to my astonishment, they're still there, but I don't believe that's going to last. Now, the show have also not said this time round that in the final, it's not a round table, the final vote in the very last episode. In series three and in the Celebrity Traitors, they did something I didn't like. They wouldn't let the players reveal when they were voted off if they were faithfuls or traitors. So, with the recent Celebrity series, when Kat was voted off, she didn't reveal she was a traitor. When Joe Marler was voted off, he didn't reveal he was a faithful, and that I didn't like that at all. It sort of tainted the show for me. Um, they've not said this time they're going to do that because in the past two series they've said very early on that that would be the case. So I'm hoping they've seen that people don't like it and they're not going to do it again. But excuse me. But each time, even in the final episode, say it's five people, a worst case scenario, at this point it'll be three faithfuls and two traitors. If a faithful's voted off, in that scenario, it'll be 2-on-2. And then are Rachel and Stephen going to stick with each other? We just don't know. We really don't know. And if the faithfuls are smart, they would realise there's got to be at least two traitors. So it's going to go down right to the wire and there'll only be two people left. And that again favours the faithfuls over the traitors. We've also got to look at historical precedent with the three UK series today. The faithfuls have won it two of the three times. Now, there are reasons in Series 1 and Series 3 why the faithfuls won, which were, in my view, very unfair on the traitors in those series, but that's another conversation for another day. But historically, the faithfuls have won it. I mean, how Alan Carr won the Celebrity Traitors is still beyond me to this day. Um, yeah, it is still beyond me to this day. But that's why I think, although 90% of viewers who have voted on this channel think the traitors are all set up to win, I don't share that view, and I do actually believe, despite poor performances, the faithfuls are going to win. Um, who those faithful will be is another question. Um, I would say the next round table, this double vote thing is going to be huge as well. Who gets it? Is it going to be Rachel's going to give it to herself? Are they going to give it to Roxy because she's an ally of Stephen? Could they give it to Matt because it sort of implicates him more? I don't know. Players like Faraz and Jack to give it to is risky if they turn on Stephen or Rachel, but I guess we'll find that out tomorrow night on Wednesday when the episode comes out. But what do you guys think? Am I way off? Do you think the Traitors are deemed to win this? They're sure to win it. Do you think it's 50-50? Or do you think the Faithfuls are going to win? Three episodes is a long time, folks. But yeah, please let me know your thoughts. And please subscribe if you enjoyed this video.